short. Alright, so we're on day 3, I believe, of unit 3. Okay, and this set of notes is what we call application problems. Which is just a fancy teacher word for word problems. Okay, so if you ever see the word application problems, that's what it means. It's just word problems. So I know that's probably not your favorite thing, but hopefully we can get through these and you'll feel pretty comfortable with them. So we're just going to jump right in with example number 1. This is the last one. Okay. So you just want to get that finished. You just need to start right here. This is what this one. Yeah. Okay, so example 1, I don't know. We should have enough room to put example 2 under it. So split the page with these two. Example 1 and 2. They're kind of similar to each other. So example 1 says, let me just read it to you because I have a couple people still gluing and cutting and things like that. It says the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 147. Find the integers. First thing is, most of my students don't really clue in on what this means. What's consecutive?
In a row.
In a row. Okay. So the sum of 3 integers that are in a row, like counting numbers. Sum means what are you doing with that? Adding. So this is going to be adding. This right here means in a row. And is always means equals. So the part that says relate, we're going to let the first number, and I'm going to use hashtag sign. We're going to call it number on this. It was a number sign before it was a hashtag. Okay, the first number plus the second number plus the third number. So first number plus second number plus third number. First number plus second number plus third number equals what? 147. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. That's what the question's asking you. The tricky part comes when we got to put some variables in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to always let x equal the first number, or n, or whatever variable you want to use. I'm going to use x. So let your variable equal the first integer. If they're in a row, how might I be able to write this one using the x? What would you do to x to get to the next one? Add what? Like if I'm at 2 and I need to get to 3, what am I adding? 1. If I'm at 3 and I need to get to 4, what am I adding? 1. So right here we're adding 1 to get to the second integer. We're taking your variable and you're adding 1. What if I wanted to go all the way from the first integer to the third integer, what would I add? 2. Because if I wanted to go from 1 to 3, I would have to add 2. So this is the first one. The first one plus 1 is the second one. The first one plus 2 is the third one. Does that make sense to y'all? Kind of? I mean, it's kind of weird, and it's kind of a new word problem, probably. So now we're just going to take all those and plug them in up here to that. So I've got x plus 1, x plus 2. So the first number x plus the second number x plus 1 plus the third number x plus 2, all of that has to equal 147. Okay, now what do I do? If I have that equation, what would you do with that?
Solve.
How would I solve it? What would be the first thing you would do?
Combine all x's.
Combine all those x's. How many x's are there?
3.
3 x's. 1, 2, 3. 3 x's. And then what else would I combine?
Plus 3.
The 1 and the 2, and you get 3. So plus 3 equals 147 still. Now it looks just like the equations we've been doing.
Yep.
So you should be able to solve that one. Go ahead and solve it. So subtract 3 from both sides.
Wow.
You get 3x equals 144. And when you divide by 3, what is x going to equal? 48. What is that? 48 is what? What's that go with?
First number.
The first number. So 48 is this one, which means what's the second one?
49.
49, because they're in a row. What's the third one? 50. So just because you found x doesn't mean you finished answering the question, so be careful about that. If you're looking for all 3 integers, you got to go back and write all 3 of them. Because you can do all this work right, and then only write 48 and you miss 2 of the answers. That would really stink if you did all that work and missed 2 answers out of the 3. Yes?
I'm just a little bit confused.
Okay.
The second and third integer, I get the first one, how we go back and get x plus 1?
Okay, there's a couple ways to do that. You could take 48 and put it right there for the x,
Okay.
and do 48 plus 1 and get 49.
Right.
And then 48 plus 2 and get 50.
Okay.
Or you could just, if you know that they're in a row, you're just counting 48 and then 49 and then 50.
Oh, okay, because it says consecutive.
Yes, because they're in a row. Okay. Okay, look at the next example, because this is really similar. It's a little bit different though, because you know we can't keep it all the same. So the sum of 2 consecutive even integers is 54. Find the integers. What's different about this question than that one we just did?
One says to find the equation.
Okay, one does say to define the equation. I'm sorry, what? There's not a third integer, there's only 2. What else? There's an extra word in there. Even. Okay, that's going to throw things off a little bit. Because when you are counting even numbers, you're skipping by how many? 2 every time. So up here, we're counting by 1s. Down here, we're counting by 2s. So that's going to change some things in just a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and figure this out. The first number plus the second number. Whoops. Should not have a third number. Get rid of that. There's only 2. The first number plus the second number should equal what? 54. Somebody copied and pasted and didn't get rid of that extra blank. Okay, so the first number plus the second number, and get rid of this extra blank right here. Or you can get rid of the first blank, whatever. Should equal 54. So we're always going to let x equal the first one, or n, or whatever variable you like. Let x equal the first integer. I'm counting by 2s. I'm doing even. So what am I going to have to do for the second one? X plus 2 is going to have to be the second one. Here's a super tricky question. What if it was odd integers? How many do you count between odds?
3. 1.
You still count by 2s for odds. 1, and then the next one is 3, that's 2-way. Then the next one is 5, that's 2-way. So even if it said odd integers, it would still be x plus 2. So just to kind of get that in your brain a little bit, when you're counting odds or evens, either one, you're counting by 2s. You just happen to start on an odd number or start on an even number. Okay, so now let's plug these in. So we have x, the first number, plus x plus 2, the second number, has to equal 54. And how do I solve that?
You combine like terms.
Combine like terms. X plus x is 2x.
Plus 2.
plus that little 2 equals 54. And now you should be able to solve.
26.
Shh.
Sorry.
Subtract your 2 from both sides. We get 2x equals 52. And when you divide by 2,
You get x equals 26.
you
right?
do get 26, yes. So what is that? What does that go with?
The first integer.
That goes with the first one. How do I find the next one?
You
Add how many? Add 2. So what's the next one going to be? 28. Okay, does that kind of make sense now after we did 2 of them?
Yes.
Kind of. Okay, let's rock and roll, go to the next. So the next things we're looking at are perimeter type problems. Everybody have this written down? I don't want to switch it if you don't.
I still have page on this one, space on this one, do I need to turn it?
If you have space, you can leave it there.
Okay. Alright, will we be doing the same thing, or is this like a different kind?
This is a different kind. These are perimeter problems. Number 3. Whoops. Number 4. Actually, let's just do 3 and then 5. We'll just do 2 more, and then that'll give you some time to work on your assignment before class is over. So 4 can go in the recycle. I mean, unless y'all really want to do an extra.
No.
Okay, just making sure I wasn't upsetting anyone that we're skipping 4. Okay, I will help you work that one out in just a minute. But just you, nobody else. So go ahead and glue down 3 and 5. These 2 are going to be perimeter type problems. We've already done some word problems because every time we've done notes, I've thrown in 2 or 3 little word problems. Remember the ones about the fences around the garden or the fences around the playground?
Yes.
And then we did the one about the baseball game, the one about the roses in the Rose Bowl parade, stuff like that. So we've done some other word problems too, and y'all have done pretty well on those.
Do we not need export?
No, we don't need example 4. All right, let's look at number 3. The length of a rectangle is 3 inches more than the width. Find the length if the perimeter of the rectangle is 98 inches. Okay, it's talking about a shape and it doesn't give me a picture, so your best bet to start with is to draw your shape, especially when there's simple ones like rectangles and triangles. So go ahead and draw a rectangle so that we can label it. And almost always with a rectangle problem, x is going to be your width. Almost always. So you're going to say let x equal the width. So go ahead and write that somewhere. Let x equal the width. Or if you wanted it to be w because it's width and you'd like it all to match, then you can do that. So let x equal the width. It's almost always going to be the width. So on your homework, I know it is. So anytime you have a rectangle type problem, just let x equal the width. Which means over here I can label. Because I know those 2 are the width, right? What's it tell me right here about the length?
It says it is 3 inches more than the width.
Okay, 3 inches more than the width. What would that look like?
Plus 3 will be 4. So
X plus 3 or 3 plus x?
So 4.
No, because we don't know what x is yet. But it's going to be 3 plus whatever this is.
Sorry.
So that's all right. X plus 3 and x plus 3 are the lengths. You can label both of those because you know they match because it's a rectangle. So they didn't match, it wouldn't be a rectangle. So if I know the perimeter is 98 right here, what am I going to do?
You are
2x plus 3 equals 2.
Not 2x plus 3.
X plus 98 and then you combine like terms.
Wouldn't
Okay,
it-
almost. You almost had it. You missed 2 of the other sides. We need all 4 sides added up.
Wouldn't it be 4x plus
x
3?
plus 3 plus x plus 3 equals 98 and you
There,
combine like
there we go. Okay, so we need this one plus this one plus this one, plus this one. You need all four sides. So like this, I'm gonna put in little bitty like parentheses, you don't really need them. So y'all can see that the x plus 3 goes together. So I've got the top plus, the left plus the top plus the right plus the bottom. Has to all equal 98. Now, I heard somebody that was working on trying to combine like terms before they wrote the equation. And if you can do that, I'm okay with that. But don't miss any. Like if you went x plus x plus x plus x is 4x. Right? Everybody see that? If I did x plus x plus x plus x, I'm going to get 4x. And then if I do 3 plus 3, what do I get?
6.
I get 6. Or if I do 3 plus 3, I get 6. So either way, you can combine like terms writing it all out, or you can look at your picture and combine like terms. You should still get the same answer, but you've got to be careful and make sure you include every single side. Because if you don't include every side, then your whole equation's messed up. Okay, when we solve this, you're going to subtract 6 first. You get 4x equals 92. Now divide by 4, what does x equal?
23.
23. And this is in inches. But what does that go with?
The length.
The what?
The width.
Length.
Not the length.
The width.
The width. 23 is the width. What's the question asking me to find? Find the length.
Now, wouldn't we be able to find the length?
Yes, what would we do?
You would divide it.
Not divide.
Plus
You're going to add your 3. So what's the length going to be?
26.
So this is
5.
23. This right here is 26, because you just add your 3. That's what they want. They want the length. Because it says right there, find the length. So always, always, always read what the question's asking you to find. Because if you don't go back and find the length, then you won't have the right answer. I think it's a good idea just to always go back and find both things, just to be on the safe side. All right, number 5. 3 sides of a triangle have lengths 2x plus 7, 4x minus 3, and 3x minus 11. What is the length of the shortest side if the perimeter is 119? Okay, it's a triangle, so draw a triangle. Just whatever kind of triangle you want to draw. Draw a triangle. And then label all 3 sides. I don't know which side goes with which. It doesn't really matter. This is just a picture for me. So I'm going to do 2x plus 7 on one, 3x minus 11 on one, 4x minus 3 on one. I may have them in completely the wrong places, but that's okay. This may actually be the longest side, not the shortest side. So don't let the way you labeled it define which one's the shortest side. Okay, we're going to have to get x and plug it in to figure that out. So what am I going to do to figure out my equation here? I know perimeter is 119. How do you find perimeter of a triangle?
You add all the sides.
You add all those sides up. So I'm going to have this side plus this side plus this side.
Couldn't you just, I was going to say divide by 3, but that wouldn't, it wouldn't come out right.
Because they're not all exactly the same length. So 4x minus 3 plus 2x plus 7 plus 3x minus 11. All of that has to equal 119. So each one of those sides, which is a pretty crazy long equation, right?
Can we like combine?
That's exactly what we need to do. We gotta clean that up.
It will be 9x.
So we have 4x plus 2x plus 3x. Does look like that's 6x plus 3 is 9x. And then I've got negative 3 plus 7 is 4
Wait, it's a negative statement.
minus 11. The 7's positive. That's the only one that's positive. The answer is negative 7.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
There you go. Now you should be able to solve it. Now that it's all cleaned up. Y'all see why the whole cleaning it up, shaping it up is kind of important? Because who wants to solve a big mess like that?
That would be really hard.
Some people, you will get choked.
Okay, so solve for x, add 7 to both sides.
It'll be 126 for the.
And then divide by 9.
Yeah.
It's 14.
Wait.
Don't say that loud, but keep the mind process.
Then the answer will be.
Hold on. Hold on, don't say it out loud. There's people that they need to process through this. Okay, so if you get x equals 14, and the question is, what is the length of the shortest side? How am I gonna figure that out? Because that's not any of the sides. There's not a single side here that's just x. So what do I do to figure it out? Plug them in. So in your calculator, type in 4, and instead of x, put 14 minus 3, and get an answer. 4 parentheses 14, and then minus 3. What do you get?
You get 53.
Yeah.
You get 53 for that side. So this side right here is 53. And then you're going to do this one. 2 parentheses 14 plus 7.
28 plus 7, what? 35?
35. So this one's 35. And then you're going to do 3 parentheses 14 minus 11.
12, 20.
After the equal sign on the second one, is that a 7?
Right here.
Wait, it says.
2 parentheses 14 plus 7
Oh, okay.
equals 35. So what's the last one equal?
35?
31.
Sorry, 31.
35.
Okay, so which one's the shortest side? Which one's the shortest side?
3x minus 11.
Right, that one right there is the shortest side, which I obviously did not draw correctly, right? I labeled the wrong, and honestly, I did not mean to do that, but this one should really be there, that one should really be there. Like, those two need to be switched. I drew it on the wrong one. So don't just look at your picture and go, oh, that was the shortest side, just figure that one out. No, you drew the picture. You didn't know what the problem was. You could be like me and have it completely labeled wrong.
So it'll be 4x minus 3, 3x minus 7, and.
2x plus 7, and figure out, yeah. Okay, so that's all of the notes. Let me get this turned off.